What's good? You rocking with your boy TheCzarr, all rights reserved. Help support the channel to get me up out the airplane via CommenterNation. Hashtag CommenterNation can be used in the search bar anywhere in order to find the productions I do. CommenterNation or hashtag CommenterNation forever. You already know how we rock. Shout to everybody, CommenterNation UK, CommenterNation USA, everybody that's in the comments that gives their daily, consistent opinion of things. I'm in the airplane dropping these 2 hits before I get to the location to give you, try and do 2 more, I'm going to say. Because I know I say I'm trying to do more, but time only permits me to do a few things in a certain order. So time is limited. That's why I do my best with what I'm able to do. As I'm leaving my work area, I actually do work to people who put that out there. I don't know why you wouldn't think hard work doesn't go into my real life as well as me trying to combine it with the work I'm putting in to build an empire. But those things go hand in hand to an entrepreneur, which I am. Multiple businesses, multiple dreams, multiple aspects of things I'm chasing. Everybody aims to be in a position where they can do more and have more free time. I wish to do the same, so I'm able to do consistent video for you guys and not just sum it up to, oh, I couldn't do video. That's not the type of person I am. I take this as serious as a job. Lil Apparel said you're not a serious YouTuber, I guess, on her other name in comments. But I guarantee you I'm very serious, let alone my connections are just as serious. So you could take whether aspect. Your slander, again, only shows a level of competency and guilt that you have or lack. So I'm not sure where you're getting at, but you rocking with your boy TheCzarr, all rights reserved. Now here's what I'm trying to say, and this one. Now when me and Lil Apparel talked, there was something interesting she mentioned. He had the bag of money around his neck, but they told him get out the car. Did they want the car he was in as well? Is that what he didn't give up that they felt he was slaughtered for, allegedly? That's what I'm not getting. Was there something dealing with the car that was not done when they said hop out and he didn't hop out? Now, as we've seen, many superstars reacted to individuals not giving up money, not hopping out expensive brand new cars when these guys attack, and it leading to further issues. I'm sure he had insurance on the car. I'm sure those things were in contact. Everything made sense, or else he would not be legally on the road. But what's the premise? What's the difference? Was the car the target, or was the bag of money the target? And that's the Lil Apparel, because you mentioned about him not getting out the car, and whoever his passenger was getting out the car. Well, the one passenger mentioned, and I'll get to that shortly, again. So what are your thoughts on this? Because there's also some other insider information I want to unveil and speak briefly about that lead to believe other perspectives of what could have been. All we've heard was about one passenger, but the other passenger could have easily blended in with the witnesses, and that's what we'll describe next. But was the car the target too? Was it about not just about the bag, but about the car as well? He had a brand new BMW. Individuals don't usually get to ride a BMW, let alone the newest one in their lifetime. Could this have been something that was wanted by the individuals who allegedly pulled off this robbery? Was this an issue going wrong because he didn't react how they thought he would? And who fired the shots? That's the whole premise of what is being investigated. They always look for the shooters first. Now, authorities are trying to allege that Michael Boatwright was one of the shooters, but we have not seen video to co-sign that. One aspect that they mentioned of credible evidence was high-top black Nikes. Also, some pieces of clothing that were visible, and some degree of video, some degree of identification as to why they're implicating him. When they're implicating these other individuals, they're talking about video and all sorts of things. And that's part of why they're doing it. Yes, they're talking about flashing of $100 bills being a reason that they're also implicating these alleged suspects in this murder. So that scene on social media, them flashing hundreds, is that one of the only mistakes that were made by the suspects being alleged in the situation to be implicated? Or what are other ones that are more specific to give us a brighter view of how investigation is going to link these men to this crime? That's very important, because social media is now being used in court to indict individuals, as we seen it indict another rapper I spoke about from the South down in the videos. And you could check out the rest of the videos that were a while before this and see where I spoke on different topics relating to that. Now, that's part of why I mention these things, because I think it's very important to get an understanding for what's actually being used as credible evidence to indict, and whether or not it's going to hold against me saying that I held a gun. We haven't seen investigations of this length in a little while. We haven't even seen situations this prestigious in so long, that a lot of different ways of manifesting evidence has been disregarded. And is it possible some of this evidence has been tainted because of the individuals that were involved having time in between investigation doing what they did? And is that the reason they asked for more DNA? Or were there other reasons they asked for this? We don't even know those ideologies yet. We can only speculate. But one thing that can be said for sure is that they're attempting to put these individuals in the shooter's shoes, and also place high regard on the fact that they were violent criminals and not just your everyday criminals that were tied up in a situation without any type of justification. And that's where we get the black and white blurry lines and no sense of true nature holding to dead to rights these individuals having been a part of these situations that are of a horrible nature, that have very bad implications to them, placing very unlikely people in the shoes, because we knew nothing of these individuals until the indictments started rolling out. And even when we knew, we had no clue of one of the shooters, Michael Boatwright, who was arrested for something totally different. So it leads you to believe, was there some type of weight placed on different choices he made, different activities that he may have been involved in, to add weight to what they're trying to unveil as evidence. And this is just going to lead us not only into a couple thoughts dealing with what the sister talked about, but even some more thoughts to the fact that what we once thought could have been just a layer, and there's more layers to this story. And that's part of why I'm mentioning it. That's part of why we're objectively placing it out there to speak about, because again, there's a lot of blurring lines and a lot of different situations that are leading belief to be that there's more than meets the eye to a case of this nature, that there's more action on the backside than just the 4 people involved. As I said, the mastermind's plan seems to have worked flawlessly, even to the point investigators have to go back over evidence to produce a bill of information. And that's not normal. A lot of things in this situation are normal, the violence and different things for that area, but the bill of information is usually rolled out and it's cut and dry, DNA related, and not really taken in jest. But we see that there's a lot of uncertainty placed as we move forward in this situation. Why would that be if investigators did what they were supposed to do? But one thing that did hurt the case was the fact that we see they had no issue with dodging witnesses who were first on the scene doing a social media enterprise witness investigation. So I ask you, what differs your friends that hopped up on social media speaking about this scenario actually having been there during it, and I examining evidence objectively? Except I'm objective, and they're sticking to a statement and stories and chain of events that we have yet to put into some type of action and notification of being true or false. That's my thing. There's no telling who's telling the truth or who's telling a tall tale because of how the information was produced, how different things were done. It only leads us to think strategically, to wonder what actually went down, who actually was there, why were they there, why did you ride with Amari? Like, what was she doing there? What was her reasoning for going there? How were y'all notified? How'd you find out this happened to him when investigators showed up after the fact? I'm not getting that, because you guys weren't there with investigators. We didn't see them questioning you. And is there a secret witness that they have not released that's going to put everything together to these questions we're asking? And that's very important. If there's another witness that has not come out yet, that's going to help to define and put together a lot of different pieces of this puzzle. And it's going to answer a lot of questions. And is this witness going to implicate friends that were there that claimed to not be there during the time? Or is it going to build to a deeper meaning of other individuals who weren't there but were in direct contact with the occurrence of Tentacion's demise? She said Ja a lot. Ja was coming out her mouth a lot, and that's a very close friend term. You know, that's not very normal. That's nothing we know to be the norm of people calling him, especially if you're a fanatic. You would depict him by his fan name. You wouldn't play with it like saying his moniker. But that's another subject for later when we get more information. I have a few more productions coming up. Hopefully I get through them all. And hop in the description, help me get off the airplane, and help me get into that lavish lobby where I can speak to you without interruptions, without anything, so we can make more pristine investigations. I appreciate everybody rocking with me. CommenterNation forever. Go subscribe over at Twitter, capital ALL, capital CZARR, and get in the conversation. Send information if you have it. Twitter, and you know how I rock. All rights reserved.